and I'll just send it to them, Elena, to do whatever. So I run a development circle on Sundays and Mondays, and I had this discussion with Michael about doing different exercises that help just to heighten your awareness and utilize and sensitize some of your clairs. Some of the things that you can do is making a conscious awareness. So if you go to the store, oh, this is a really cold bag of, sorry, we have bags. This is a cold container of milk. Or if you're picking up a vegetable, oh, this apple feels very firm. You're making a conscious awareness within your subconscious and your conscious mind, so that everything you touch, taste, see, hear is going into your database. Does that make sense? So as a practicing medium, I'll admit it, I'm a little slow sometimes, and this was no different this time. But I had a thing happening where I was getting okay. I was getting spirit communicating with me and with songs, with music. And I'm like, it's so weird. I keep hearing songs, specific lines in a song, which is part of the message. And then it dawned on me, I used to be a DJ. I used to spin records. I'm quick. So it's like, oh, that's why. So spirit will use whatever is most heightened within me. I've heard of a story where somebody used to work on in a clerk's office for the town hall. So all she did was look at names and names and names and names. And I tell you, if you wanted to bring through a name, she had it like that. Why? Because that was her strong suit. So when it comes to clairs, just to further develop any of your clairs, it's about paying attention and heightening the awareness of all of your senses. And we all know that if you're, somebody who loses one of their senses, if they become blind, if they lose their hearing, the other senses pick up and become more heightened to further develop and to further allow them to communicate. So this is what we're doing, is we're giving spirit another way to clearly communicate with us. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm just waiting for one more person to drop in. So as I said, we're going to do a meditation, and I don't want to keep doing meditations. The only reason I'm doing this meditation is because I want to demonstrate the awareness that you have that often you kind of take for granted. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm going to see where they're at. Okay. So if you want to make sure you're comfortable, I'm going to set up sharing some sound. I'm actually going to share part of the screen so that you have something to look at while you settle in. Okay. So if you want to knock off your camera, that's fine. I just need somebody to open a mic and just give me a heads up if this is loud enough that you can hear my voice over it, but still hear the music.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. So as I said, just settle into your chair. And as you bring your awareness to your breath, just following the ebb and the flow of your breath, the in, the out, the rise, the fall. I just want you to slowly drop your head down into your chest. And as you gently close your eyes, just bring your gaze to your third eye. And as you do, I want you to imagine in your mind's eye that before you is a beautiful little canoe that is resting on the bank of a small stream. This canoe is filled with cushions and pillows and looks so inviting for you. And as you step into the canoe and get comfortable, you hear the trickling of the water as the stream is floating by. Give a little push from the shore. You don't need any oars. And your canoe begins to float along the river. As you look over the side of the canoe, you see how crystal clear the water is. And below you, you may see fish, maybe some seaweed, some stones. And reach your hand over the side of the canoe and just allow your fingertips to trail along in the water. It feels so cooling and yet so invigorating. As you bring your hand back into the canoe, as you start to float even more further down this stream, your awareness becomes heightened. As you look to the sky, sun setting, maybe it's rising, maybe it's midday. Take note of where the sun is. Take note of the color of the sky, shapes of the clouds, if there are any. As you look to the right, you see a field of tall grasses. You can feel a slight breeze across your face. And as this beautiful, gentle breeze crosses your face, with it comes the aroma of the grass and all the flowers that are mixed within the grasses. You hear the smell of the lavenders, the honeysuckle, take note of all of the smells that you're taking in. As you bring your awareness back to the face forward. Again, pay attention to the sound of the water, the ripples as they lap up against the side of the canoe. Before you, you see a beautiful, huge tree on the bank of the stream. Its branches cascading over like an umbrella. Starting at the bottom of the tree, you trail your eyes up beautiful, strong trunk of this tree. And as you start to reach the branches, as they reach out, there on one branch, you see a bird's nest. The bird is feeding her young. You hear the chirping of the babies. Maybe on another branch, there's some little furry animals that are scurrying around, or maybe they're hiding, maybe they're playing. And there in a hollowed out hole on this beautiful big tree, you see some playful raccoons. Maybe there's an owl. And as you start to float by this tree and you look up, you see these branches, all these leaves just rustling in this slight breeze. As you lower your head, you can almost taste the water. You can almost taste the smell. As you look off to the left along this huge field, there's an embankment. More trees. What type of trees are they? At the base of the tree, do you see an animal? A bear? Maybe some deer? Maybe you see a cat. Large cat. Maybe you see a wolf. And you watch him tip back his head and sound out his cry to his tribe. Take note of your surroundings. Listen to the birds. Listen to the scurrying of little animals on the ground. Larger animals. All your senses are awakened. Mother Nature has this amazing gift of awakening our senses to her beauty. Bring your awareness back inside the container. Pay attention to your feet. Wiggle them. Smoothly feet a bit. Bring your awareness back to your hands. Slowly bring yourself back into the room. And always with gratitude, we say thank you for this experience. When you're ready, Oops, gotta turn it off on my end. Okay. Yeah, I guess. How'd we do?
That was a lovely meditation, Christine.
Thank you. Was anyone able to? Yes, I will be. I will be. And I will be doing the meditation just on its own, so you can do it whenever you want. Usually I use the canoe as a way to meet your animal guides as well, because you're in nature, and Mother Nature always obliges us with meeting our spirit animals, our animal guides, however you want to refer to them. But did you see what I was doing in trying to make you really aware that we can actually taste a smell, right? We can, it's funny, the more that you do this meditation, you'll actually heighten those awarenesses and start seeing into it a lot more. And I had a thought, my guides told me just before the class, that it's almost like, and again, I'm going to challenge you, homework. If you're watching a show, if you're watching a movie, pay attention to the scene behind the actor. So, Lynn, I'm going to use you because I can see your paintings in behind you, Lynn Healy. I know that Lynn is a painter, and I know that some of the paintings on the wall behind her have meaning and significance for her. Lynn, how I see the elephant behind you. So is that a significance for you? It almost looks like a picture. It almost looks like a picture. No, Lynn, how? She's got the elephant.
Oh yeah. It's like, I don't have an elephant.
So it's a stat. Oh my God. See, like it looked like a picture almost. So when you start bringing your awareness to, the things that are behind the scenes, behind things, and then you start to use your senses to see, feel, hear, touch in your mind's eye, because what you're doing is you're kind of putting it to memory. It's easy enough to say, okay, who here has tasted a lemon, a straight raw lemon, right? Anybody, right? Some not brave enough to do that. When we do that, we have committed that memory of tasting that lemon to our subconscious and our conscious mind, is what we did. So, okay, sure thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. This is what I want you to do with everything you experience. And it doesn't have to be like, don't say like, okay, I got to spend an hour just heightening my senses. Just do it randomly and say to yourself, oh, I feel, oh, I taste, oh, I see, oh, I hear. That's how you're going to do this. So I'm going to challenge y'all now. I'm going to put you on the spot, which I'm very good for doing. So you're going to go, I'm going to do breakout rooms. And what I want you to do is look at the person who's your sitter. You're going to decide who's going to be the sitter. And then you're just going to take a couple of breaths, center yourself, and say, I see, I hear, or I feel. Okay. So if I were using Misha, I would say, I I see a lovely pendant, and the energy of that pendant makes me feel protected. Okay. So this is, I'm acknowledging my sight, and I'm acknowledging how it makes me feel. It doesn't have to be a physical thing. If spirit is telling you, oh, Karen, I feel this heaviness, that maybe you're a little under the weather. I'm sorry, Karen.
I'm tired.
Right, but that's under the weather, right? We associate being sick, like I had COVID, sick, but being tired is still under the weather, right? It's not a wrong statement. So, and I can see that you also appear tired. So what we're doing is we're tapping in psychically into each other's energy. And what this does, seriously, is we're just building on our clairs so that spirit, which we're going to be getting to, is going to have a clear method of communication with us. Okay. Does that make sense to everyone? Any questions?
I have a quick question. Well, hopefully it's quick. Sometimes during the meditations, I will get extremely nauseous. And so it'll get just like, I feel like almost like a pregnancy nauseous. I'm not pregnant, but like it just is so intense. And so trying to, like, I'm not sure what to do with that, because sometimes it'll be so distracting from what I'm trying to hear or see, that it's just like I'm trying to focus on, I'm not going to throw up. So is there something I can do to kind of?
What's happening is because that is your solar plexus, right? Your clear knowing is in your solar plexus, right?
Okay, yeah.
So you're getting a shot of energy, and this is where you have to, like, so your clear knowing is really augmented, and it is trying to because I get the feeling that maybe in the past, throughout your life, you've been talked out of your clear knowing.
Yes.
So that gut feeling has fought tooth and nail and bitch slapped you so that you'd listen.
That makes sense.
So sorry for the analogy, but it's true. It's true. You are literally getting smacked across the head, and your clear knowing is saying, can you hear me now? So now you're going to, this is why. So for you, your clear knowing is really, really strong. So now you have to try and focus more on your other clairs and just say, you can even put your hands on your stomach and just say, okay, I'm just going to subdue this energy right now so I can heighten my other clairs. It's just an influx of energy right into your center.
Okay.
Is what's happening. And the more that you develop your other clairs, the less intense that's going to be.
Okay. Now, should I work on that one too? Because I kind of just like shut down completely. And I have been working to try to like reestablish my connection. I feel like I just could just flip a switch, like, but I don't know where to find it type of feeling. So should I work on that too to kind of help balance it, or?
Yeah. So anybody, we all have clear knowing. We all have that gut instinct, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have all spent a lifetime of being talked out of our clear knowing. We truly have. And when I started going back and looking at like how many times and how often and in what way I allowed people to talk me out of my clear knowing, that I was all in my head. I didn't know what I was talking about. I was making a mountain out of a molehill, or people would get pissed off at me because you're always right. I really had that one.
Yeah.
So then you just stop you stopped talking, right?
Yes.
Part of last week was trusting your guides and trusting your own skills and abilities. So how many people, if you were a full-blown medium, are you reluctant to come out of the medium closet and tell your family? Anybody?
Yeah, I hide that because they're all super religious and
Right.
you're evil, you know, so.
So then why are you developing your gifts? Not
Because
to
I
put
think
you,
they're
not to
wrong.
put you
No,
on the
no, it's
spot.
fine. They're wrong. Like, you know, and they've harmed me my whole life by listening to
Exactly.
them. And I've had enough. So, but I don't want to continue to hear their harm. You know, I don't want to hear it any like, so I just don't really bring it up because I'd rather not deal with them.
Exactly. So the thing with mediumship is that those who are going to fall away, you have to be okay with them falling away. You have to come to terms with them. Some people are going to fall away because they're going to disagree with you. They are going to, and it's all fear driven, right? They are working from a fear-based narrative, whereas you are working from a total and complete surrender to love narrative, plain and simple.
Yeah, that nails it there. Because that's all, you know, oh, I have to warn you, you're getting into dangerous things. And, you know, it's like, no, you have
Yeah.
no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And honestly, it's like, you know what, respectfully, I respect your position. This is now, please respect mine, plain and simple. I'm not trying to talk you out of yours. I'm not trying to force my beliefs on you. Just respect mine. And those who cannot respect yours, you have to put the distance between you until you've got this spiritual strength that literally your give a damn is busted.
Mhm.
And it's true. See Lynn kind of smiling at me, but it's true. I literally had to walk through fire to say, like, my oldest daughter, I haven't talked to her since a couple of weeks after my house burnt down, because I didn't do what she wanted me to do. So she wanted nothing to do with me. I have nothing to do with my grandchildren, even though I tried. So it's like, you know what? I can't. I'm not going to. She wants to stay in this place of anger and hate. I can't keep saying, forgive me and I'm sorry, I did things wrong or whatever. I can't live in that narrative. I know that spirit is never wrong. I know that spirit is true love and acceptance for who I am, plain and simple. So, and I'm not saying for you to go out and tell everyone like, step off. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is this is about learning to trust yourself, learning to build that strength within yourself and your understanding and that acceptance, because fear has no place in this development. Fear has no place in mediumship at all. And you will see it time and time again where some mediums will say, oh, you've got an attachment. I need like $500 to clear the room for you and clear your energy. And it's like, I said, what? No, that's not how this works. Okay. Fear has no place in mediumship at all. And a true medium will tell you that. Does that make sense? So one of the life-changing things that happened for me was I was taking a course with a well-known medium, and some people were not thrilled with that. I could see that it got a little chilly in the room towards me, and I thought, I have to do what's right for me. I have to do follow the path that's working for me. And when I tried telling a friend, they said, no, 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 you know, like you're probably just making more out of it. And I'm like, nope. So then after one of Julian's development circles, another member had brought in a friend of hers, an 80-year-old medium, and we had a chat afterwards. And God love him. He leaned into the camera and he said, "You have clear knowing, don't you?" I'm like, yes. He goes, "You hear me and you hear me now. Don't you ever, ever change what you're going to say or what you know for anyone ever again." Right then. Okay, sure. Okay. And then I thought, you know what? He's not wrong. Because then I went to my friend and I said, you know what? You talked me out of my truth and my knowing. I knew how I was being treated. Oh, no, no, no. You talked me out of, were trying to talk me out of my truth. So this is why I say, you are going to hear from somebody that permission that you need to hear, that is going to register, and you're going to say, not anymore. Plain and simple. It may be me, it may be Julian, it may be whoever it is that you're following. They may give you that one thing, or you may read that one thing. You're going to hear it, you're going to see it, you're going to read it, you're going to experience it. And as soon as you get that, game changer. Absolute game changer.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on that path like that, where I'm starting to not, my give a damn is broken. I don't care like anymore. Like,
Right. Right. And you almost have to make that like your mantra. And it's just about empowering yourself. And it's not about ego. It's not about getting in people's faces and saying you're wrong or whatever. It's just sitting silently in your truth and your knowing. You know what I mean?
yeah. Thank you. That was like, I got chills all over my body.
Right. Because sitting in your truth and sitting in your knowing, sitting in your power it's absolute peace, isn't it? When you're
Yes.
sitting there, it's like you're invincible, like you can conquer the world.
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect explanation.
And it's not just about telling yourself long enough so that you believe it. It's about just believing it. And that's why I always say, okay, human, you just sit right over there because this is the truth. This is what I know. And this is what I honor. My ego self, I do acknowledge it, but I don't allow it to dictate and control me. Plain and simple. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So that is an excess of energy. And it's the same thing when you're doing reads, you'll get this frog in your throat and it's just a buildup of energy from spirit wanting to speak. And it's like, excuse me, excuse me. And then finally it's like, okay, like I just got to say what I got to say because spirit won't stop until I say what I say. And then you go. Okay.
Okay. I will try that.
So yeah. So are we ready to do breakout rooms? How many do I need? 1, 2,
Question.
3, 4.
Christine,
Yep.
you said we should see and feel, and there was one more, but I forgot what you said.
So we're gonna do this in 2 groups. First, we're gonna do clairvoyance, clear seeing, and clear feeling.
Okay, so just the 2.
Right. And then
Okay.
the next time we go out, we're gonna introduce the other senses as well. If you feel connected with spirit, so Lynn, I'm gonna use you again, Lynn Healy. If I'm sitting with Lynn and I just take a couple of breaths and say, and again, this is about trust, okay? I'm going to say, I feel a male energy coming in. I'm seeing a very tall man. I feel like he's not, I feel very frail. And I see that he's shuffled when he walks. Can you understand any of that, Lynn?
Yes.
So this is her grandfather, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. So I used two, I used see, and I used to feel or hear. Oh my God. Help me out here. I used see and feel,
Mhm.
and I went back and forth. Okay. So if you see and you feel, or you hear, like if you get that feeling, just say it. Don't edit it. It's not your job to make sense of it or to understand it. Just say it. Does that it make sense to you? Okay. We'll do breakout rooms. Just try it. See how you do. Do you want to do five minutes each and then 2 minutes just for feedback? Is that okay? Because I know last week I did 3 and it was not long enough. Maria?
So you're doing 2 breakout with 3 in each room, is that correct?
No, I think I'm just going to pair you off so that
Okay.
it's okay.
Okay, all right.
Is that okay? Let me
Yeah,
see.
yeah, no, I thought it was
One
2
in.
rooms and then we alternate taking turns, but with one sitter, but yeah, if it's paired, no problem.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do a breakout room. I'm gonna do 5 minutes of the medium giving the senses, seeing and feeling. Okay, any questions? We're good? Okay. Have fun with it too. It'll be fun, I promise. I'm gonna get my timer. Timer. How'd you make out?
It was okay. It was interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tricky with the feeling and just getting images, like actually getting a person in and describing them. It's quicker than that because you're trying to link the thing to a person without seeing the person first. But I was
It is, but when your spirit is of highest intelligence, right? So if you are asking Sandra's loved ones to come forward, or Sandra has already asked her loved ones to come forward, so they're going to give you what she knows. They aren't going to give you what she doesn't know. Okay. So you can, right away, you may get a feeling, and if you give it to her, she'll say, yes, that was my grandmother. We always go for the grandmother. That's why Julian always says no bacon nanas, and Charlie Kelly says no bacon nanas, because we've all got we've got a grandparent in spirit, one way or another. We've all got a grandparent in spirit, right? It becomes more challenging for us to bring through siblings or aunts or uncles or parents or even children. But you have to trust that spirit is giving you what only Sandra will know. Okay? That's the hard part, is just trusting that process. So how'd we all do? Kind of throw you off the deep end and say, swim. There's a reason why I'm doing that. And it's only because if you don't expect me to say, do it, and Michael can attest to this, I think, that when I shove you off the deep end, you actually do it, because you're not able to talk yourself out of it. Correct? Yeah. So who brought through what they feel is spirit? They brought through their sitters' loved ones. Yes? Okay. Were you able to go between seeing and feeling? It's challenging, huh? Okay, now I'm going to make it more challenging. So I'm going to write this out. So you're going to do seeing, feeling, hearing, smelling, and tasting. Yep. So I just put it in the chat for you. So
what if
when-
you don't have tasting as a Claire yet? I haven't experienced that Claire yet.
well, that's because you're saying that you don't have Claire. You don't have that Claire.
Right, okay.
You do.
Okay.
So if I ask you, what does coffee taste like? Can you taste it?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Right? It's the same thing as the lemon. If I ask you, what does a lemon taste like? Oh, it's really tart, sour. Yep. See what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, spirit likes to play a really cruel joke on me, because I was a smoker for 40 years and I quit. So you know what spirit does? I
Then
get
just
an ashtray. I don't get a tobacco. I don't get a cigarette. I get an ashtray in my mouth. And it's like, please stop that, because it's disgusting. And I'm like, I can't believe I smoked for 40 years. Seriously.
Yeah.
So that's why when I say taste, try not to say I can't do it. It's the same thing. I can't hear. Yes, you can. Take
Yeah.
I can't out of your vocabulary.
Okay.
I am developing it further.
Okay.
That is what you're doing. So you can trust 100%. Spirit is going to give you the tastes, the smells, the touch, everything that is relevant to you. Okay.
Yeah.
If your favorite go-to is ice cream, oh yeah, Spirit's going to bring through ice cream, not just any ice cream. It's not just vanilla. Nope. We're going to bring you through Neapolitan, right? The strawberry, the vanilla, and the chocolate. And you're going to taste all three. And it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. Wait a minute. I got it. It's the Neapolitan ice cream that you guys used to like, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So it's about trusting that Spirit is going to use what you already know, what you already have in your data bank up here.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's why it's so, when you're eating your dinner, taste I taste the oregano. Oh, I taste the tomatoes. Oh, I taste, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Thank you.
it's
Yeah.
just making it a conscious effort into your data bank.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
Okay, and
Definitely.
into your
Thank
filing
you.
cabinet, however you want to call it.
Yeah, because
But-
that's what I did with the hearing. I literally was like sat up the back and I just make sure in the summer I'd listen to the birds and I'd listen to cars
Exactly.
going past. And I think Spirit just knows automatically then you're trying to work on that clear. And that's my strongest now, is my hearing.
Yes.
Because I did
Because we get stuck because we want to hear, like we're talking right now. And the only time I get that from my guides, when I hear like auditorily the way is when I'm in trouble. When my
right.
guides are scolding me, my guides will scold me. I will hear Christine, and I'm like, who, what?
Who,
What
me?
they do? Whoops.
Yeah.
I know that sound. I'm being scolded. What they do? So I know that I'm familiar with that sound. But and that's why I said, and I thought it was very, very interesting when my guides told me, you have to see, if you're watching a movie, any sitcom, whatever you're watching, the producers, the directors pay attention to all the little nuances, all the details in behind the actors. That's part of the story. You may notice, oh, there's cereal boxes in behind the actor on the fridge. Oh, the cereal box has changed. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're paying attention to those little minuscule details.
Okay.
And that does make a difference. So one thing that I want to try and get you into some good habits, because I got reprimanded by Charlie Kelly for this one. So when you start, if I'm doing a reading for Michael, I may give maybe 4 points, and then I would throw it out to Michael and say, can you take any of this? And Michael's going to say, yeah, I could take all of it, or I could take some of it. Okay, great, wonderful. Can you tell me what you can take? Because then I'm going to go back to the items that you could take, and I'm going to build on that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's very important to just ask your sitter, just say yes, no, or I don't know, because you don't want them to give you the information, because you get so excited. It's like, yes, that's my aunt, and she wore a floppy hat, and it's like, okay, that's a good, perfect. Let me just get more information. Okay. Because then you're creating a really, and I know Julian is not about that. He would like you to give that feedback, but we're developing our skills. So you don't want to, You don't want to throw that in just yet, okay?
Okay.
And that's the only reason why I'm suggesting right now, just ask for that feedback. Just, it's like, you've got it. Yes, perfect. Because what you do is you go back and it's like, okay, what do I got? Okay, yeah, okay, this. And then it's okay. But when you get a no, that's when you go back to your last yes. Always go back to your last yes.
Okay. Because when I got told when I get a no to work the no, go back to spirit and just say like, what you'd give me that for? He doesn't understand. Can you give me some more information?
Yeah, that's a little further
And then-
down.
Okay.
I just right now, just for this class, just developing the clairs, and you're right, because eventually you will. And it's some more than likely it is. If I give you something and you say no, okay, just a minute, my bad. That's just the way I translated it. Okay, can you take it this way? No. Okay. You don't want to keep on getting no's,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Cut you
So
off then. Yeah.
exactly, it really
Mm.
derails you. And just till you build up your senses
Mm.
right now, just go back to the last yes.
Okay.
Because sometimes that no comes out at the end and it's like, oh, that's what that was. Sorry about that. It's like,
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't wrong. It's just about presentation. So that's why I say, so don't stay focused on the no for this class, just for the purpose of building your clairs. Just go back to your last yes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank
And
you.
that and that's all that we're doing, is we're just building our clairs is what we're doing. Okay. So we'll do 5. What time are we? We could do 5 and 2 again. Okay. So I'm gonna move you so that you are in with a different person. 4 and dump. Back to 1. Okay. Okay, so 5 and 2 again. You're okay with that?
Mhm.
Have fun. Get my timer out. Welcome back. How is that? Anybody want to share their experience? Sure, Maria.
Sandra did amazing. Even before we went to Breakout, she already started seeing and sensing stuff. So she knew right away we were going to get paired. I'm like, oh my goodness. But instantly, she, like to a T, she described the auntie, the taste, the smell, everything. It was just phenomenal. Well done.
Perfect. Well
Sandra.
done. Well done.
Oh, yeah.
Thank
She nailed
you.
all of them.
Thank you. It was, this lady was really, really strong. You know, she was on her left side all the time. Yeah, really strong appearance, really strong. So you could miss her. And
Awesome.
Maria get from my childhood memory, from my childhood, when I was visiting my great aunt or something like that. I don't know, great aunt. And all the, you know, all the site, all the village and everything, the chickens and everything that was going on, cooking outside and stuff. So
Awesome.
yeah, she really done good job. So we had a really good connection.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
awesome. Anybody else want to share? Anybody have any troubles that they want to share? Don't be afraid to bring it up, because if you're thinking it, somebody else has had it as well. So step
Only that I
up.
got the stereotypical granny for Danny. I was like, oh, it's a stereotypical granny. So, but she could take it. That was fine. So I managed to get a few things that were, you know, accurate. So that was good. But I was like, oh, the granny. It's nice to meet you, Granny. Anyway, Danny.
Absolutely. The thing is, I mean, grandmothers, of course, they come through. Some of them act as a mother. Some of them create the most loving memories for us. So, I mean, we can't just completely say, no, we're not bringing through grannies. And often we can associate a taste with grandmothers a lot easier than any other loved one over on the other side, right? Because, you know, they're always the one that bakes us the cake, or they makes that family recipe, whatever. So that's a strong memory. And we have to just remember that, you know, they're just as valid as in it as well. So well done. Well done. Michael? Go ahead. Oh, you're muted. There you go.
Hello?
Yep, there you are.
Oh, I don't know why. No, I just wanted to say I also got a grandmother, so yeah.
It's okay. So I had a thought. How many people closed their eyes to connect with spirit? Okay. So your challenge now is to not close your eyes. Right? Because I've seen a lot of mediums, and it's, unfortunately, it's once you get into that habit, it's really, really hard to break that habit. So try to get out of the habit of closing your eyes for any length of time. If you have to look off to the side, if you have to look just past, you know, a person's shoulder or whatever, just try to work on that. If you have to look down at your hands, then do that. This is about trusting your own skills and abilities. And part of that trust is that you don't have to close your eyes to see. Because if I say, can you see a tree? Everyone can see a tree, but what kind of tree are you seeing? So how many people are seeing a Christmas tree? How many people are seeing blah, blah, a pine, a maple tree? I'll get it out yet. A weeping willow. Oh, okay. Sure thing, Lynn. Thank you. Maria, yes. Who had their hands up?
I was gonna say that, I mean, I don't close my eyes throughout, but I do like when I take my deep breaths in.
Mhm.
I like to close my eyes and then I'll open, but then if I want to bring that image closer, I do close for a second. But most of the time I do work with my eyes open, but I do like closing my eyes periodically, but not all the way through.
Yeah, and that's okay. Like I said, what happens is that you'll get mediums that have their eyes closed for the entire thing, the entire reading, and it's like, so when there's a pause, while you're getting that information, it's like, did you fall asleep? Like, hello, hello, you know what I mean? So a mediumship shouldn't require you to close your eyes to get that visual. In the beginning, if you need to just, okay, first thing I have is, then do that, absolutely. But you want to try and not have your eyes closed through the whole thing. Okay?
I close my eyes through the whole thing. So I see, when I close my eyes, that's when I start seeing the pictures, like on my eyelid, on the dark screen, and then I start seeing all the images come through.
So challenge yourself to just open your eyes.
Okay.
Can I say, if you have your eyes closed, you aren't able to see what you're saying is creating in the other person.
Yeah.
And so you're going to miss all the nuances of, yeah, or no, or, you're missing the feedback that you're going to have the whole time you're doing your reading. And I think that your connection is stronger when you're looking at them. Like with Misha and me, she was picking up psychically my living tastes of things I remembered about my mom, and then she was going into the mediumship part. But I think your connection is so much stronger if you're able to look, even in your peripheral, at the person and watch their feedback in real time,
That's why some people will just look off to the side. You'll see a lot of people that'll look down or look off to the side, and that's okay. But you as a sitter, if you're paying me to give you a read, don't you want me to kind of look at you and acknowledge you?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, right?
Yeah, I guess I didn't pick up on that I could see those images with my eyes open.
Sure you can. Like I said, Danny, can you see an orange?
Yes.
Describe the orange.
It's round and orange and has the little divots in the skin, and on the top it has, where the branch connects, and it has all those lines in it.
What kind of orange?
Navel orange.
There you go. Right?
Okay.
So that's why this is all, remember, this is a class about clairs, and it's about building our trust with our clairs, because Spirit knows this is a class about clairs. So they're going to find a way to challenge all of our clairs. And that's what they're doing. So it's us that needs to build on that trust. That's why I did the first class as trust. And that's our biggest hurdle all through your mediumship, all through your lessons, all through learning and development. And you are never going to not be at a time where you're not learning and developing, because every single spirit is different. I promise you that. Like I said, there's so many variables that, it's just, I was doing a breakout room. I love this story only because, for several reasons, I had this big macho guy, right? That was really handsome. And it's like, wow, like he's full of himself, kind of. And then I had this gay gentleman step forward, and all I could hear was, "You're so vain." And I'm like, He's literally singing Carly Simon's "You're So Vain" to him. Seriously. And that's all I could hear. And I'm like, but I knew that he was gay. I knew that he was gay by just his presence, his presentation, his sound, everything. So I had two extremes. And the sitter was like, oh my God, seriously. So I had both, right? So again, Spirit trusted me and I trusted myself to be able to tap into those different elements. And like I said, I always get music because I was in the middle of I used to be a DJ, that's why. Music, yeah. So whatever your strength is, whatever you do for a career or a job, that's what is going to be strong for you right now. And even, even if you're a housewife, cooking is going to heighten your senses like huge. Or if you're cleaning or whatever it is that you're doing, those senses are going to be really heightened. So now it's a matter of heightening the other senses and just putting that into your database. Does that make sense? Okay. Any other questions? Do you want to just wrap it up there? We can go one more if you want. I'm fine with that. I need a show of hands. Who wants to go one more round? Go one more?
I only have 10 minutes.
Okay. we can do one more breakout room. We'll do it. I want you to focus on the Claire that you have the hardest time trusting in yourself. So Spirit already knows. I've already put that out. Spirit already knows that. And we're just going to go back in to the same breakout room. So that I'll just do this really quick. Okay. Okay. Away you go. Away you go. Hi, Danny.
Oh, that kicked me back. Hello. I
Sorry,
think my partner went away.
I forgot I lost
Okay.
somebody. Okay. So so you have to connect with one of my loved ones without closing your eyes.
Okay.
Just look off to the side, look down at your hands, whatever you want. And I need to start my timer.
So I feel like there's a woman here.
I get the feeling you're overthinking it.
Okay.
So just rely on your other senses.
Like I feel like I can smell something, but I don't know what the smell is.
Okay. So ask her to bring it closer.
Also, like my smell is gone now, and like
Okay, just rely on your other
irritation.
senses. You're
So
feeling
I feel
different.
irritation in here. Like
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna smell, and then it was like a frustration of like, well, what, like in my sinuses I feel,
Yeah.
and then in my ear on my left side, I can still hear, but it's kind of going numb.
So you know what you're doing? You are psychically tapping into me. I just had COVID. I have a deviated septum. I have issues with my sinuses. And I was having a thing with my ear, and I thought, do I have an ear infection? I can't get it like that. So
Okay.
so you got it. Okay. So I'm just going to give a shout out for feedback. So yeah. So when you're struggling making that connection, because you really wanted to close your eyes. I know, and you
I
stopped
so
yourself.
bad. I did. I got it. I was like, oh, open.
You stopped yourself, which bravo. But then you have to go back to your feeling. What am I feeling? Do I feel like this is a motherly person that's stepping forward? Do I feel a heaviness on my chest? Do I feel very frail in my legs, unsure with my footing? Just go with your feelings.
Okay.
Okay.
So how can I tell the difference of like that I'm psychically tapping into you or your loved ones? Or does that not matter and spirit is leading?
No, right now you were just overthinking it. That's why you went psychically. Okay.
Okay.
If we had more time and I prompted you to just tap into your other senses, then you would have been able to do this. You would have been able to say, okay, I'm being led here, right? Because
Okay.
that would have the lack of smell, because you had a smell and then it went away, right? So
Yeah.
that is indicative of, maybe spirit. I'm not sure who you were bringing through. I have a feeling, but I'm not sure who you were bringing through. I was waiting for you to say lilacs.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That might have been what it was. I wasn't sure what exactly.
Yeah. But so that's when, okay, if I don't, is it flowery? Okay. I'm smelling something flowery, or I'm feeling something very pungent. Like I'm just smelling like, I don't know. Do you see what I mean?
Okay.
So if the first thing that you got was a smell, okay, what was the smell? Smells very, very sharp. It smells very, whatever. That's what you go with.
Okay.
All right. Because then what you'll do is you'll build on that. So do you want to try again? I just let them all go again.
Okay.
So just recenter yourself. You can ask the same person to come forward.
Okay.
We already know that they're in the house.
Okay. Now I see like a floating square.
Does that have a significance to you?
No.
Okay. But sometimes you have to look at that.
Okay. I mean, unless I get migraines and I get kaleidoscope. So maybe if they're trying to show me like my migraines.
Perfect.
Okay. So now do I ask them to build on that, or do
Yes.
I? So I don't know if it's just me just going completely blank, or that was what happened, is that they went completely blank.
So then you say that, throw it out.
Okay.
Just say, oh, I'm sorry. I've got nothing. I've got a blank.
Okay. And now I hear like a ringing in my ear on my right side.
Uh-huh. You're gonna freak when I tell you.
Oh, I feel like an intense. Like I want to cry. Like my eyes just welled up and like.
Mm-hmm.
And almost like just a heaviness on the heart and the chest. And my feet are tingling.
So I'm just going into feedback. So you had my mother. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So my mother fell. She hit the back of her head. She had a concussion.
Oh, wow.
It didn't knock her out, but the concussion was the lead up to her passing.
Oh,
So she was having
okay.
headaches. She was having headaches. And because of that, the way she fell, she cracked 3 of her ribs. But because of the concussion, she was throwing up. I was waiting for you to say I feel nauseous, because it would have been.
I thought that was me. I did feel that, but I thought that was me trying to. So I was trying to just let that just.
No, that was her, because that was very pivotal. So like if you do a course with James Van Prague, he wants you to bring in how they passed, what led to their passing, right? And in doing that, but that's a memory that some people just don't want to recall. They really don't. For me, that was because my mother was my best friend. I had to end her life. I had to fight for her for so long. And it took me 7 years to move past that.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's not I'm okay now, but that's not a great memory for me. But not everybody wants to have that memory of how they passed. Now, if you gave it just briefly, but you got all the senses, and it's like, so do you see how spirit can communicate with you?
Yeah, that was
without closing your eyes.
Because you said the head, but I thought like it felt like my headache, you know. So it was like,
yeah, and that's the thing, is that we interject, is that this must be me.
Yeah, I worry about that, you know.
And you
try not to.
Right. So we're gonna go back to in the room, and I'm gonna address that real quick. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Duh. I know we've lost some people, but I just want to address one thing that, like, I was paired with Danny, and Danny said, I thought it was me. And as soon as you have that thought, I thought it was me, throw it out, give it. Because you're trying to talk yourself out of that communication with spirit. That's where, remember last week when I said communication with spirit happens between 7 and 13 hertz, right? So when you're communicating with spirit, you're doing this. You're waffling between the two. You're going below and you're coming up. So when you are down here and you do the, oh, I think it's me, you bring yourself back up here and then you go back down. So as soon as you think, oh, it must be me, throw it out. Challenge yourself to throw it out, because that is your human self trying to talk you out of it and try to pull you back up out of that range, out of those hurts. Okay. So if you get the mindset, it must be me, throw it out. First thing. Okay. Any other issues with this session? You're very welcome, Claire. Thanks for joining. Absolutely. Homework for the week is working on your senses, just acknowledging your senses. And in a perfect world, if you were this amazing, incredible medium, what would you want to do with your, I'm going to say gifts? Just work on that. Okay. And with that, I'm going to stop recording.